Hey everyone, we're back, and we'll continue on. So yeah, I mean, if you learn the monster's different sort of AI and things like that, you can kind of gauge what's going to happen, but it's pretty sweet because Fracking Universes spice things up, and there's actually quite a lot of like new AI that goes with old enemies and things like that, which is really nice. So yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but that projectile was almost hitting me in the head, and that was just because he was on this level and I was getting up quite a bit higher. So like I said before, if you're elevated, you might end up getting hit. So it's always good to save your rope too, or have some plant matter in here, because you're going to need it to get over these little humps. Again, bombs, toss those suckers down. You do want to try and back up a little bit, because the explosion radius, it's not super huge, so you don't have to really worry. Like, if we stood in this corner right here, we probably wouldn't have gotten hit, but just to be on the safe side. So yeah, when you're collecting these statues, you get your dashes and all of that in your tech inventory. So we just got this one. You'll notice here, later, you can get micro balls and things like that, and you can stick to the walls. There's precursor tech and things later game, or if you're lucky, earlier game, that you can get and pretty much traverse all these little secret passageways through here. So if you like being thorough, you can come back to your starter world. I don't know if the cave that has this dungeon appears on other planets as far as like gentle stars and stuff go, which is usually the star clusters that these beginner planets spawn on. I don't know, so it might be worth it if you're afraid of losing this planet to build your flag, and that, like, we've already done that on the surface. You don't have to put it, you can't put a flag down in here, but you can put it on the surface near where the entrance of this is, and then that way you can come back here and farm later if there's anything that you want, like exploring this place thoroughly, basically. So I would definitely recommend that, because there's some pretty cool stuff here, and you should experience it all. Again here, if you don't have a class that has a high enough jump, like this class here has increased jump, some classes don't, you actually can't make that little jump there, so you're going to want to make sure you have your rope. And don't worry, there's some vines in here that you can actually harvest to make rope. You just use plant fiber, it doesn't cost that much. There's another chest up here that we can get to later with the grappling hooker from above. I'll show you. So if you're lucky and you get this bow, you can actually cheese by backflipping through various sections. We just got a new bow, so we'll check that out here. Yeah, see, this is pretty sweet, because this secondary is actually a big radius explosion, so this is going to bust us through doors and things like that, which is pretty awesome. Another thing to note new with the bows, you'll see its primary damage is, you know, like 4.39 per shot in its fire. If I just fire this normally, you see how, oops, it's a bad example, but you see how it's just sticking into the walls and nothing's really happening. But if I hold it back and time it, so if you listen, right, you hear that like gadunk, but if I wait too long, it doesn't go off. You have to like let it go just at the right time. and that will give you an explosion and do more damage. You still have your secondary, which is right click like I showed you before, but that's just another thing that's part of these bows. So they actually have like 3 different shots, which is pretty sweet. This one here, because it's fire, probably is the same thing. So yeah, it does. So you could probably explode things with that as well, which is really nice. These bows are awesome addition to the game. So I'll show you an example here. So I'll just use its regular attack. Okay, so that doesn't work. But I'll use its secondary, which does work, because that actually counts as a real explosion. So if you get that on weapons, you can use that later. It's pretty handy. I'll usually try and keep one of those weapons around, because later on you want to save. I don't know, it depends what you rather carry. Like if you rather have bombs, or if you rather have a bow that's always a bomb, like this one here. The thing is the blast arrow on the secondary fire of these bows is actually really super good, because the radius is so big. I'll show you later. There's ways of basically you can get by a lot of different stuff. Like you can break generators and things behind really thick walls that other bombs can't with certain items like that, and that basically lets you gain access to a bunch of cool forts and stuff, so it's pretty worthwhile. You'll see there too where this light is burnt out, and there's like a small path. That's another secret kind of location up there. Another good reason to come through here, even if you feel as though your gear is pretty awesome, is you get various books and stuff like that, but also too you can get where is it here? You can get various like crafting materials that are kind of rare, and other such things like that you wouldn't normally be able to find until a bit later. So it's nice to come in here and grab it, like some gene stuff. We'll go over that later, but yeah, it's worth coming back here every so often. So again, with this bow, normally you'd have to use some rope to get up here, but we can actually use its secondary just to get up here and backflip up, so it's awesome. I'm also not sure, but I think that there's some sort of secret with this lava. I don't know. I've never figured it out, but I feel, why would you have lava there unless there's like an actual, you know, secret to it? So yeah, I don't know what that's about. It'd be interesting to find out at some point. These ancient essence we're getting, they're going, yeah, so right here, optics, gene. You don't normally get this unless you research or find it in other things later on, but they're not very common. However, they are quite common in here, so grabbing that is quite good because those resources are useful. Oh shit. So yeah, you can see the secondary explosion on that is super good. We'll probably use this bow just to kill the end boss, because it'll make things just a bit smoother. You don't need it. In fact, I actually might kill the boss with darts to kind of show you can get it done with that kind of stuff. Spears and darts, they actually do quite a lot of damage. I think I might show you guys that. Yeah, occasionally I'll just shut up and let you guys enjoy the game. Actually hear the music and monsters and things like that. Where's my flashlight? But yeah, again, over here with this chest, you need the micro ball to get in there. As far as I'm aware, anyways. So that's why you'd be coming back there. There's usually a bat right up here. Yeah. So you can see, like, spawns, I don't know if you guys can hear that on the recording. Anyways, we're gonna end this episode here, and next episode we're gonna nuke the boss and move on.